Welcome back to Keep Going Podcast with Vin Kennedy. I'm your host, Vin Kennedy. Today we have a special guest. This is KJ. KJ, you want to do a brief intro on yourself?
Yeah, first, Ben, thanks for asking me to be a part of this. Really excited, honored. Yeah, my name's KJ Mazurek. I kind of want to define myself, I guess, maybe trending or trying to become more of a hybrid athlete from endurance running and lifting, but first and foremost, a family man, a husband and a father. So try to keep it simple, family and health first. So that's really basis of me.
It's awesome. And yeah, I first came across you. It's funny we live in the same town, but I first came across you on Instagram where we were both doing the Loopy Looper race, and I just noticed that you had like a streak, and I think at that time it was probably in what, the 200s, 300s maybe.
Probably somewhere around there, yeah, because I started the streak Jan 1st of last year. So yeah, somewhere
Yeah,
around it's pretty wild.
yeah. So I noticed that, and then I noticed you were doing the race. Saw Middletown. I was like, I got to give this guy a follow. Like, obviously, he's out here grinding. I love that. And then from there, we've definitely like built a relationship, and it's been cool to see all the different stuff that you've done in the same time. And kind of the coolest thing is that you're keeping the streak going, and that you're making like your health a priority. So if you kind of want to tap on, I think the streak would be the best place to start, and kind of how you had like your transformation.
Yeah. So the streak itself has kind of become like a everyday accountability. Deep down, I'm really just a really introvert. Kind of want to keep to myself. I think so. It was more posting online, which was something I was never thought I would ever do. Kind of used to also look at it of saying like, oh, why are these people doing that? It's something that I couldn't relate to. But then it became more of a personal accountability. Hey, I'm gonna start doing this, and then maybe if I can help out one other person and say, hey, someone else is getting outside their comfort zone. Maybe I can, you know, try to do that. And if I can help out one person, then it was worth it. So the streak has really become just constantly just, making sure that I'm getting after it or getting my workout in every day. And I think it also plays a part of my fear of when I kind of started going through this journey. If I didn't work out and I miss one day, it's that much easier to miss again. Um, so I think that fear of knowing what I used to be like, going through this transformation, making a lot of different changes, not only just for my health, but for my family, sacrifices that I made, and making sure that I didn't fall back into those old vices. Um, so that fear is kind of what drives the streak a little bit too. I don't want to ever go back that way. And so it keeps me going.
Yeah. When you first started, did you have like points, I guess, where you would be on for a week and then fall off?
Um, when I first started, so my first started was March 7th, 2022. Um, I was sitting on my couch and I happened to be listening to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And my brother, he read the book, transformed his life. And all of a sudden it was kind of like, all right, I need to maybe kind of make a change myself. But I was so hungover that my son asked me to play soccer. Like, hey, can we go kick the soccer ball around? It happened to be just a gorgeous day. And I was so hungover I couldn't do it. And I was listening to the book, and it just happened to be one of those things where, okay, maybe I need to force myself to do something that I don't want to do. I'm like, I said to my wife, like, hey, I'm signing back up over at the gym. I'm gonna go work out. And she's like, okay, you going on Monday? I said, no, I'm going like right now, and force myself. So in the beginning, after I did that, it was kind of like, okay, let me just kind of work a little bit, start going to the gym every day, working out. I wasn't running as often, but I was going and working out. And then I would, as I was kind of building up that momentum, I would take a day off here or there. And then eventually I just said, I got to do this every day, because if I'm going to get to the level that I want to get to, and that level grew over time. It wasn't something like where I want to say like, hey, I'm going to shoot for the stars. It was kind of like, let me just progression and get to where I want to be. And that level still grows every single day. But in the beginning, it was definitely taking my time. Um, but as you've seen, right, like the community, okay, I want to do this to the next level. What are things that I can also do to help my body recover? What are some of the things that I can do and choices that I can make sure that I can continue to do this level for even a longer period of time? So, learn through other people like yourself, like, Dan, like Greg, and then all these other, people out on, Instagram that I follow, just the cold and hot therapy. So it kind of that started playing a part. And then I realized that I can recover a lot quicker and taking care of my body a little bit. So all of a sudden the streak started becoming a little bit more. But I definitely want to say, I mean, I see some of these streaks out there, got a shout out, talk about how things come full circle, right? Then we're at, um, uh, we're at the Looper, and you got Paul Johnson right now, who won the 24-hour, who's running across America right now. You got Greg, who, you guys are out there crushing it every weekend. Just like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Let's just go run 30 or let's run 50, like you guys did last weekend, which is awesome. But it's like there's so many other streaks out there. And then I think of Andy Glaze, who's doing like 200 and something weeks in a row of 100 miles. So I'm like, I hear these streaks and I think, if these guys are getting after it, I said, how much more is left in the tank? How much more can I keep doing? And I think that type of inspiration is just, again, if I can help somebody that is either watching my journey to help them get on their own journey, that they can inspire somebody else, then it's all worth it. At the end of the day, I think it's really cool to see how this is all transpired.
It's so true. And then even a couple points there, Andrew Linders, he came in second or third for the 12-hour with Greg. He's running cross country right now
That's
too. Yeah.
right. That's awesome. Yeah. So you got the four.
Um,
That's so cool, man.
it's nuts. And I was just talking about this, and I talk about it all the time now. There's this dude Mike that I know on Instagram that runs a marathon every day, and like he was in a taper for 100 or for a 50 miler, and he was running 20 miles a day. He's like, I hate tapering. And I'm like, you're running 20 miles a day, like. But
Yeah.
there's such levels, and you're right. It's like you could look at it like, wow, I'll never get there, or you could look at it like, well, if these guys are doing that, I could push myself a little harder, and I definitely choose that route as well. But something I'd be so curious, like, what's advice you would give to someone that was in your position? Because I feel like so many people are either in that position or just getting out or want to get out of that position, and they just don't know where to start.
Um, I think I saw a video from Kipchoge, and he was talking about what's the best advice you would give to someone who's starting to run. And he said, learn to start taking the vitamin N, learning how to say no. I think, especially in the world we live in today, we want to try to please everyone around us. We want to try to do so much. We want to be a part of so much. We see on social media of all this other stuff going on. And at the end of the day, is it really kind of core to what are you looking to accomplish? What are your goals? What are you looking to do? And I think that's really what's been my biggest transformation is finding what's important to me, my family, my health, helping the community that I can with, people around me, but also the, running community really embraced and took me in. And the best thing I want to do is just, give them back, um, all the help and more. So the best advice I would say is start really just looking at your picture. It's okay to say no, but what are your goals? What's your why? I post a lot about that. And I think if someone says, hey, I want to lose weight, oh, why? Oh, I want to be able to, feel better when I go to the beach. Okay, why? Does it, and kind of asking yourself that a few times, 5, 7 times, you're going to get down to a kind of core root of what's important to you. And if you remind yourself that day in and day out, it's really going to be able to hit home. And I think, unfortunately, it's that type of conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. It's going to bring up a lot of stuff that you probably don't want to talk about. Goggins talks about it, the accountability mirror. You got to look at yourself. If there's something you don't like, you got to be honest with yourself. So I think people having that real conversation would be the best advice I can give, because I know it helped me out tremendously. And it's something I think we need a little bit more in this world, is being honest with not only ourselves, because it'll help us be honest with other people, and help people get better and improve one another. I think that's a stepping stone.
So true. And even like I think our society went in another way with like the body positivity and stuff like that, which I think is great. And no one needs a six pack. But at the same time, I think a lot of like when you're saying like someone looks in the mirror and they don't like something, or when it comes down to the root of it, I think a lot of it's confidence. And like people are either masking it with just, materialistic stuff or whatever, just other forms of distraction, when really it's like if you don't like who you see in the mirror, you are the only one that is in control to change any of that. And it's a hard pill to swallow and it sucks. And I've been on all ends of the spectrum with it. And you're right, it's true. I'd be so curious how you navigate using the word no when it does come to your family, because I know as well as we both live that life that it's like if we don't do these things, we don't show up as ourselves. And yes, me and you both take the route of 3, 4, 5 a.m. to get these things done. But I'm curious how that plays out like with a family dynamic as far as like knowing that you need to show up for yourself as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to go through this journey if I didn't have Amy as my truly my better half. She's been supportive with me throughout this. Um, Even when I was doing, going out, drinking like crazy and justifying it in my own right mind that, it was the right thing to do. And, she stuck by me every step of the way. And then when I decided to make this journey, it was very hard in the beginning. Um, as you probably know, and as you've gotten to learn, we don't do anything kind of a little bit. We kind of go full spectrum. And that's kind of the way I've always been with anything I've ever done. So when I took on this idea of, okay, I'm going to really go 100% with this transformation and this change of lifestyle. In the beginning, it was tough because she knew me from what I always was. And I mean, we met in college. We've been together for actually next week will be 16 years, and we're celebrating our 10 years in June this year, being married. And the she's been my rock, and I think that support has allowed me to um, really go through this transformation. But I think being honest with myself allowed me to be honest with her. Um, you know, how many times hey, how many drinks did you have? I only had a few. Well, a few to, her might be different, than a few to me. And so that kind of honesty and trust was hurt a lot, and it's still getting rebuilt every single day. Um, so I think being honest with yourself helps you be honest with your partner, your significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It's important to make sure that you build that level of trust, and you set those priorities. And I think that's anybody out there that's got a family, has got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever. And, you set those right expectations of, hey, I want to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I can't be the best for you. I mean, I think if we had people really take that to heart, it would a lot of people would be in a lot better place.
Yeah, and you touched on something earlier that I had Andrew Glaze on like last week, and he mentioned the same thing. Like simplicity is just key, and I think that's really what we've done is we just boiled our life down to like, yeah, we're up at 3, 4 a.m. We hit miles, we go to the gym, we spend time with our family. There's obviously other simple hobbies that we enjoy, and then we eat healthy, we get good sleep. Like it's feeling good feels good, and I think a lot of people overlook that and try and overcomplicate it. It just doesn't have to be.
You're 100% right. Just the prioritizing what I'm doing today and how can I prioritize it, for the next day, but be the best I can be today, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. But I know deep down I'm doing what's right for myself, my family, and my health. And if I keep that at the forefront, then I think I know I'm making the right decisions.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you mentioned something a while back. We were having a conversation at the Banya, just about like impact you've had on people around you from seeing how you've kind of like chose to lead your life. And I would just love if you hit on that because again, I've been in the same boat where it's like, you have a lot of friends that around you drinking and doing certain things that maybe you don't subscribe to anymore. And it could be a tough, like, there could be a lot of like tension there, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the the first person that comes to mind, truthfully, is my wife. I'm going through this transformation, and um, I'm starting to, shedding some pounds, and she's like, hey, you can't be losing this weight, and I'm gonna I want to get after it too. And I've seen just the dynamic and what she's done and how she started feeling better, and the poundage that she's lost, and she's starting to feel even 10 times better. And I'm just so grateful and happy for her, because again, it's a lot. I mean, she's got a full-time job, 24 hours a day with the kids, and when I'm not there, and it's something that I'm truly grateful for. But I look at a few other people that I run into where people at work ask me, friends that said, "Hey, I really want to do a race. I've never signed up for anything. Hey, man, or hey, one of the girls in the office, Lexi, I never did a 10K before. Let's sign up." So, we signed up for the Philly one back in 2023, but it got rained out. It went from a 10 to a 5, and she had done a 5K. I said, "Hey, we'll run it together, but still got to check that 10K box." So we ended up doing it. It was awesome. It was just seeing that joy of her crossing the finish line for something that she had never done. I was so happy. And, I ran one with Jake down in Spring Lake. We ran 10K together. So seeing people get outside their comfort zone is kind of reassurance for me. As much as they're getting out of it, I love seeing it. I love being there every step of the way. Um, People at work right now, tragically, we lost one of our employees, just way too young. And, it kind of was a wake up call for a lot of people. And we've had some guys that said, "Hey, you know what? I got to make some changes." We're at the gym, after work, getting after it, whether it's 20 minutes on the elliptical, 10 minutes on the fan bike, alternating. That little bit extra is going to pay off in the long run. So those transformations, as much as, it's benefiting other people, I'm like, just, I can't get enough of it. It's like, I just love seeing it and love being a part of it. So yeah, if anyone wants to go run a race that they're not sure of, let me know. I'll be more than happy to run it alongside you the whole step of the way.
It's such a special thing too, and it's not even like you're a byproduct of it as well, right? And we're all just this
Yeah.
trickle effect to other people, and I think that's like the coolest part of it. And yeah, I mean, I talk about it all the time. Like my little sister's out here running marathons, and I'm just like, who would have ever thought? And it's so
Yeah.
cool, it really
Yeah.
is.
Oh, how about the day we ran in Hoboken and
Yeah,
Dr. Ty, and we were like, all right, we're gonna go crush 30 miles, and he'd never done it, and he's like, the most I ever ran was 20, and we hit 20, and he's like, oh man, we got another 10 to go. I'm like, hey man, let's go. We're gonna get through it, and that type of like drive and perseverance, you can't buy that. You can't. You got to earn it, and being a part of it and just seeing that, um, it was awesome. It was so cool to watch and be there every step of the way for him. I'm so happy for him, especially on his birthday too. That was tremendous. And I mean, you guys
sure.
crushed it that day. You guys are flying. That was awesome.
But it's so true, and then like you said earlier, like you as you evolve, the levels evolve, right? And
Yeah,
it's everybody's at different starting points too, and has been doing it for different durations. So there's no like you can't even compete with people in it. But I felt that in the 50 this weekend is probably how he felt in the 30 that weekend. And it's the same thing, really. I mean, you're doing the same thing. You're running and you feel it. And it's like you said there as well, where like you need to do the work to get to mile 40 to feel like this sucks, to do 10 more. And like, but there's nothing else. There's nothing you could do to get there. You can't pray for it. You can't pay for it. Like, you literally need to do the work to get to that point to feel that it sucks. And then lately, I've had this perspective of like, this is why you do it. Like, this is literally why you do it because you've earned this feeling from getting to this point. And it's hard to tap into, especially when it like just sucks, but it's so rewarding after. I mean, I've never ran over 30 miles and not smiled the rest of the day. It just
yeah.
doesn't happen.
No, it's amazing. It's a great feeling. You're 100%. That feeling, that earning it. It is amazing. It's it's great.
I'd be curious, something I've been thinking about a lot is like gamifying like the day in and day out or the week to week because it's so easy to like I have, you have a sub three in mind or whatever, 100 miler in mind, and like, I need to do all of this because I need to get to the race. But like, how about gamifying it, especially when like there's no set like race on the schedule, like something like you for the streak, where it's like, yeah, you could say like I have a specific number, but for you, like the streak has no actual endpoint. Like of course, who knows what'll happen, but at the same time, like there's something that you have to do day to day to get there. Um, and lately for me, I've just been tapping into the idea of like just making everything like a little game, even if it's like, how many miles could I hit this week? And then I'm sure you've been in the same boat where it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna go way over what I said I was gonna do this week or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm curious how you kind of gamify it for yourself.
Um, yeah, so there's a few things I guess maybe with the streak in terms of, you know, running miles. I don't necessarily um do it intentionally, but I think there's times where I'll look at, oh, hey, I'm X amount for the week. All right, maybe I'll run a little extra to see if I can hit this number. Um, the Doing the Murph challenge once a week is that's kind of like been always something I'm making sure I'm getting in. And so that's always fun. And other ways of saying, okay, maybe I'll do, you know, all right, maybe this week I'm feeling pretty good and I'll do, you know, the Murph every day this week. And I'll, you know, obviously I wear one with the vest and I'll do the other days, I'll just do it without. Um, but I think you got to play games with yourself. I felt like early on when I was going through a lot of like workouts, I was doing the same thing over and over again. I wasn't getting anywhere. You know, and obviously I wasn't taking care of myself outside the gym when I was working out, which was, you know, really just a lot of the downfall. But at the same time, I would started playing games with myself of saying, if I didn't want to do something, I got to do it now. Like, I don't know how many times I'll be at the gym and I'm like, man, I really don't want to run, you know, 5 miles today. And like where I would tell myself, hey, I really want to run 5 miles, or I want to run four, but I probably should run five. The moment I say that, I'm like, I got to do it now. Because I'm like, if I finish at four and I leave and I know I had a little bit left, it's going to bug me the whole day. So I'm like, I got to do the five now. And that started playing. It sounds really stupid, but think about like your own day-to-day life. How many times do you like walk by the trash and you're like, I should probably throw that out now, but I'll just do it later. And all of a sudden it's like, no, I got to do it now because I just had the thought. And you take care of it. You throw, you know, take care, you know, go throw it out. You put it back, take it. Hey, it's done. And like that started trickling into like my normal day to day. So, but yeah, I would say gamifying it for me has now become, if I say I don't want to do it, I got to do it now.
No, it's true, and it is the fact that it bleeds into other areas of your life and you don't even realize it. And I do the same stuff, and it's like sick. I started doing like posting stuff on Instagram. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cringy. I shouldn't post that. It's like, well, now I have to do it. Me and my sister for a while had that going back and forth, just as far as like the Instagram stuff. But I'm the same way. Like even I hate the treadmill, and like
Yeah,
if it's cold out, sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's cold out. I should go on the treadmill. But I'm like, oh no, I'm really trying to get out of going outside. I have to go outside. Like I'll like flip it, and it's sick, but it does it. Somehow it just works, and then day after day you look back and all of this piles up, and you're like, wow, like that was worth it.
100%. Yeah, it's like that, you know, force yourself to do something you don't want to do. And, you know, it's, there's definitely some science behind it because just, even though the more you do it, the more you're building, you know, you're building that kind of, you know, reservoir that you can pull from. So when you do get into those moments that suck, hey, I've done this before. I can get through this. And, you know, you can't have enough. That jar is a bottomless pit that you got to keep filling it up. And, um, you know, that's something I think doing these types of actions is definitely plays a huge role.
Absolutely. And Huberman David Goggins actually did a whole podcast on it that there is like some neural pathway that it does. There's like a resilience like strengthening piece in your mind that you could kind of like flex that muscle. It's cool.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to mention the terminology because I definitely would have butchered it. Every time I listen to you, man, I'm like, I hope I can get like an ounce smarter, you know, just by listening to
Sure.
him. And but yeah, I can't get enough of his podcast.
Sure. And something too that I know you did, you ran the dopey challenge with your brother and dad, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was great back in January.
If you want to touch on that, because that's also like that's just so cool to me.
Yeah. So my dad's been a runner his entire life. My brother ran. My brother is 15 years younger than me, and he ran through high school and college. But my dad did, you know, two Ironmans, bunch of triathletes, and then he started running the Disney marathons. And then when they came out with the Adobe Challenge, now 11 years ago, this was the 11th year. He's done it every year. So last year was kind of a big one where he was really excited. It was the 10th year, and I was like, oh, maybe I can sign up, not thinking that the race sells out in like 10 minutes, of basically being open. And I said, well, okay, well, I'll run it back home while you guys are down there running. And so I actually ran the 2020 when they did it in 2023. I ran it back home on the treadmill. So you talk about running on the treadmill. That was fun, doing all 4 races on the treadmill. And we talked about trying to do it together, the following year, and it came to fruition. We were able to do it. But when we went to go sign up, tickets sold out like crazy again. And my brother and I ended up racing and raising money for Team MS, which was awesome. So it was great to raise money for a good cause. And we went down there all 4 days, and we were able to get it in. It was a lot of fun. We started every race together, ran alongside each other, and finished every race across the finish line together, which was, I know it was special for my dad. It was special for me. I never thought I would be running. I used to run usually it was when you're in trouble, doing laps around the field for any other sport, or just some type of conditioning. But it was really special for me to be able to do it, with him and my brother, as my brother is really the one that kind of helped kickstart me on this journey. So it was a special place. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely a fun run. If you ever get a chance to go down there, it's not a race you're trying to PR, but it's definitely a lot of fun.
No, it looks incredible, and the family dynamic of it is so cool. And I'd be curious to hear, like, who are you outside of fitness, and what other type of hobbies would you say you have? And if you don't have any, that's totally cool, because I struggle with this question myself.
Yeah. So prior to the transformation, I was I still like to go out with my wife. We'll go to, nice restaurants. We'll go and just try to relax and do what we can, taking the kids to the park. So right now it's really all family. Um, I think it's any chance I get to spend time with the kids, whether it's playing in the house, playing in the yard, going to a park. Um, that's what I'm doing outside of work. Maybe it's also going to the banya or, anything I can do, or just working out. But my life is really, I tried to simplify it. It's workout, work, and family. Not in that order, but that's literally my day, it seems like. And other passions of mine are golf. That's how my wife and I met. We both played golf in college. And so playing, any chance I could was something that was, I was doing a lot more, but now I've decided to wake up earlier. Instead of going to a 6 o'clock tee time, I'm trying to hit as many miles as I can before the kids wake up. So substitute one for the other. And, but yeah, other than that, I've tried to keep it simple, and try to keep it, a little bit basic, without trying to overcomplicate things. But this is what I am. I don't try to sugarcoat anything or try to hide anything. You get what you get with me.
Yeah. No, I love that. Same way here. And
Yeah.
the last question that I ask everybody is, what keeps you going? Like, what is your why?
My family, my wife and my kids are my why. And one of the things that really resonated with me was what Goggins said during, I believe it was an interview. I think he might have said it in one of his books, but I think he said it on Rogan. I was afraid that when I do meet my maker and I'm standing there and he said, hey, 300 pounds and you're, doing pest control and all that stuff, and you would have been the Navy SEAL motivational speaker. He's like, yeah, but that's what you were going to become. That resonated with me so much because I could feel myself going down that dark road. What I thought was the right way to live, or the cool thing to do. It was a big wake up call. So now my why is my family, my kids, my wife and kids, and just making sure that when that day does come, that I did everything I possibly could to do things the right way and inspire anybody else out there to live the right, their way, their life the right way. They're just pushing themselves to being uncomfortable, getting moving, getting active, whether it's through a race, a Spartan race, whether it's through you know, just a new workout regimen, anything. Just get outside your comfort zone, and that's what keeps me going.
Yeah. No, I love that. And the David Goggins thing I've thought about so much on my own as well. And I really feel that, and it sounds dark, but I always like as a younger kid, especially when I was like caught up in like the drinking and all that, like I never thought of like 30 years old. Like I don't know if I thought I was gonna like die young. I just never thought I would make it there. Like I think I did. I think like it was like part of me was like, you're just not gonna let like the way you're going right now, there's no way you'll last. So, and I think in a weird way, like I did almost like the version of me that was that person like died off. So it
Mm.
is cool to kind of lean into that Goggins thing. And I've heard multiple people say it multiple ways, and it's so true. And it's like you're never going to reach your full potential, but you might as well try.
Yeah, and I think I think that full potential is what scares a lot of people, right? Like, I mean, you know, one, it's whether or not they don't have a goal, but the one thing that really resonated with me a lot, a ton of stuff that he said has really helped me through this, but that 40% rule. I mean, how many times do people, just think they're done, they got nothing left? You've only used 40%. You got 60 left in the tank, and you see people that are just feel like they're, running a race and they got nothing left. And all of a sudden they see that finish line and they sprint. Well, where'd all that energy come from? It's like that little stuff. If people could just pull back that governor every single day, just a little bit. Oh God. I mean, it people would be opened up to so much more possibilities that they could do. But I feel like we limit ourselves so much that, you know, it kind of holds a lot of people back. So again, that's part of the reason why I think I love doing this, just posting about just day to day and just trying to hopefully inspire. If I inspire one person, it's worth it. And again, I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys took me in. I still crack up when I think about Running Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're all
that
from
was a
Jersey.
blast.
I
Yeah,
mean I mean what Jesse put on there was just so cool, and I mean all of us in Jersey sitting in that one sauna was like, oh wow, this is really cool. And
yeah.
again, I can't thank you enough for introducing me to all the guys and girls in the running community up in here, and again, just truly grateful and honored.
Same to you, man. You inspire me every day. And I don't want to say thank you for your time today. Honestly, I really appreciate the conversation.
Thanks, man. I'll see you out on
Cool.
the road.
Yep. Thank you, bud.